Welcome all. I'm Sarah Roeder with Armed Forces Mutual, Director of Partnership and Member Engagement. And today I am speaking with retired Army veteran and Director of Marketing for U.S. Family Health Plan for TRICARE Prime, Jason Proser, about TRICARE open enrollment season, which is November 10th through December 9th. It's coming up. Jason, thank you so much for being here today and helping our audience understand a little bit more about TRICARE open enrollment.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be on board and help educate folks today.
Excellent. Well, let's start with kind of our first question, which is, what is TRICARE open enrollment and who is it for?
On the screen there, but the big one is folks need to understand that if you, one, are a retiree, or two, one of those people eligible for TRICARE that are outside of active duty, there is 1 month out of the year that you guys are eligible to make changes, to enroll, to make different elections to your TRICARE benefits. And that's just not your standard TRICARE. That goes into your all your medical, dental, and vision benefits. So it's an all-inclusive, but it's only in this time frame. Now, just to be clear, Sarah, I want to make sure open season is the once a year thing. It always happens at this time, but just folks also need to know that if you are in a qualifying life event, you can also make changes. And a lot of folks don't know the difference. They always think the open season, the only time they can change, but you can definitely change when you guys have, a birth, a death, a marriage, a divorce, a PCS, an ETS, a change of status, a loss of insurance. There are a lot of things that might qualify you to make changes to your insurance, not just open season. But This is the big one. This is the one that people don't know. They're like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, I have to pay attention now. Yes, now is that time. You have basically 6 days left if you're in that period. So we got to get on it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why we wanted to bring this kind of to our audience, to our members, the military community, to say, hey, educate yourself. We love here at Armed Forces Mutual to educate our service members, our veterans, our military spouses about knowing your benefits. That's kind of half the battle, is just knowing what you have and how to optimize it. And so this is one of those times where understanding TRICARE open enrollment is very important. So next, how do people know if they need to do anything kind of with their current TRICARE benefits? What are some suggestions there?
Yeah. So one, if you're happy with what you have, don't do anything. No change is necessary. It's going to keep moving with you. So, and I like to use myself as an example so everybody knows. So, like you said, I'm retired Army. So I have my TRICARE Prime benefit. Open season is now. I'm not changing anything. I like the benefits I have. I'm perfectly happy. So I don't have to make any changes. Now, what you see on the screen is something that you might want to pay attention to, because this is your dental and vision benefits. These might change if you want them to. And this is a little bit different because people don't realize, with the Fed VIP, with your dental and vision, you can lower your plan or raise your plan based off of your needs. And that's a big one. So this year is a great example for me. My son had braces last year. We had the higher premium dental plan. We paid all this money every month, and then we had a little bit less out of pocket. But now that the braces are gone and everything is good, I'm lowering that plan down this year for my dental to not pay as much, So this is the time you also make those changes. So just be mindful that if you want to add dental or take away dental or vision, this is also the time to do that. And that's, you absolutely have to do it during the open season or the qualifying life event. And some people don't even sign up for Fed VIP until it's too late. Yeah. So one big thing about this too is I don't think a lot of people realize, even if you don't want to purchase a plan, still enroll, still register, get your name in the system. It's easier for them to navigate later. So a registration is nothing the usual, name, phone numbers, Department of Defense number, Social Security, that type of stuff. It's all a TRICARE plan. So I would encourage everybody to at least go register today. And I do believe on the next slide, there is the actual website you guys can go on and register with.
Yes, we do have that coming up. And so you've given some really great advice here. One, about registering. How do I register? Why is it important to register, even if I don't think I need this? But also about looking at your finances, right? And, hey, this has a financial impact on my money coming in and coming out. And so how can I optimize that? You did a great job of explaining that with, kids had braces and I needed to cover that cost. And now braces are off. So I can lower that cost a bit for my family, get some more of that money back into just the household. So it's an important thing, really important thing to look at, and to look at kind of where you are in your life, right? And what you're needing, because those things change. And so open enrollment allows you to do that without that qualifying event, which is really important. So I greatly appreciate how you explain that very clearly, because sometimes it gets very muddy with all these benefits.
And can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
So also, just to be clear for those, if you're somewhat new to the military, because there may be some new folks on here, Vet VIP isn't for our active duty folks,
Right.
to be clear. It's for those Guard and reservists, and it's for our retirees. Active duty, you guys already got your coverage. You're good to go. Don't worry about this. This doesn't apply to you, nor does the open season. Just to be clear on that, if you guys missed that part. Or if I didn't cover it well enough.
Good clarifying. I myself, as a military spouse, went through this, right? You're on active duty. You're just chugging along with all your health care, not thinking about it. Then retirement comes. Oh my goodness, I need to think about it, and think about how I'm going to pay for it and what benefits are out there. So a question I kind of had for you is, what would you say are the top 3 things military families should think about if they're thinking about changing their TRICARE?
Finances, we talked about. I think that's a big one, especially in these times. I'm going to say everybody, a lot of folks are having a hard time financially right now. We've gone through a lot. And even if it wasn't for the hard times, I would say finances are a big one, especially because the folks who are going into these plans are folks who are usually either part-time, Guard and reservists, or retirees who may be on fixed incomes.
Yeah.
So just being mindful of the cost alone. I mean, you could save or spend another $100 to $200 a month on care without even like blinking an eye. It's that quick. And insurance is expensive. So I warn folks to be mindful of the money. 2 is providers. There are a lot of different plans out there for your insurance. If you're Guard or Reserve, you have to use TRICARE Reserve Select. You're kind of locked into that. If you're a retiree, you have 2 options or sometimes 3 options to choose from. And depending where you live and where you're at, you need to know what providers take which insurance. And it's not always an easy answer. So you got to do a little digging. And, my information will be out there. You can always ask me. For the most part, I will help you find those providers the best I can. Because that's just such a big one. People will literally up and leave a health plan because you didn't have a dermatologist in network or something like that. So providers are big. Know your providers. And then I would say the third one is just knowing the difference between the plans. Oh my gosh. A lot of folks don't know there are 12 different TRICARE plans.
Oh my goodness.
12 different plans in TRICARE. It's not just 1 or 2. So knowing the different plans and knowing which ones you qualify for and what region you're in. I mean, I will throw a little verbiage out there really quick just to give you an idea. So there's obviously an East and a West. So you have TRICARE West, TRICARE East.
Yep.
But then you have your regional plans. U.S. Family Health Plan's a regional plan. It's some on the West, some in the South, and some in the Northeast. So you may live in an area where you have 3 different plans to choose from, where the rest of your counterparts in the military may only have 2 choices. So just knowing the difference between your plans and what you have access to is a big one. I get calls every single day about, Jason, I get TRICARE, but I don't know which one. I encourage everyone to go to tricare.mil and look at all the different plans. It'll ask you what your service status is to figure that out. So those are my three main ones: finances, providers, and know the difference between your plans.
Yeah. Those are awesome 3 ones. I myself didn't even realize that there were 12. options that were out there. And this is all part of why we have to educate and talk about it and make sure people know, one, what your benefits and entitlements are, but also if you have questions about them, who can you go to, right? Someone such as yourself, or knowing the right website, kind of, knowing where to look for that good resource, trusted resource. So, it's wonderful. And on that note, when people want to kind of learn more about their TRICARE Prime options, where can they look to do that? We have this map we're going to show that I think is really great because it kind of explains a little bit about what you all do to help people understand the multitude of options that they have.
Yeah, so it really is, it's specific to your area. And it's not a one size fits all for anybody out there. To be clear, TRICARE itself, the main TRICARE plan that everybody sees, that, hey, I just have TRICARE. That's the same phone number pretty much across the board on the East Coast, and it'll be the same phone number across the board on the West Coast. And if you want to use any of the U.S. Family Health Plan options, which are also TRICARE Prime, then there's 6 different ones across the country. So there's a lot of different options. I encourage everybody, when you are not sure, go to www.tricare.mil. Everything is there, and put the link up on there. And if you want to learn about U.S. Family Health Plan, it's on there too. You can put the / on their USFHP. It'll take you to the different regions. You type in your zip code, then you call the number and say, hey, I just moved to Washington, or I just moved to New York, and I heard there's another TRICARE option out there. I want to see what my options are. But I will tell everybody, TRICARE.mil has the largest majority information you'll ever need. They have, handbooks you can print off. They have brochures, all the phone numbers, the helplines, you name it. All of our numbers are on there. It's all one big, plan with everything in it. So that's what I really encourage folks to do.
Yeah, that's great. And we're going to make sure we drop this website and the TRICARE website into the chats as well at the end when we wrap up. But I think you've kind of hit on a couple of big takeaways when we talk about open enrollment is, one, understanding what open enrollment is and understanding what you should be looking for with your family, right? About, do I need to make a change? Should I make a change? What are the questions I should be asking myself, which you laid out 3 very good ones about provider, about the type of plan, and the cost of it. And so getting help, understanding that can help your family in the next 6 days make a decision if you want to change or not. I really appreciate your time today. I appreciate what you are doing. You've left the military after retiring from service, but you're continuing to serve this military community, and your passion in helping service members, retirees, and their families to kind of better understand and navigate TRICARE is really important. So I appreciate your service that you are continuing to provide for this community.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you to you too.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that is going to wrap up our Armed Forces Mutual Live for today. I'm Sarah Roeder, and if you would like more information about Armed Forces Mutual and building your financial readiness as a member of the military community, I invite you to visit our financial resource guide, located in the chat comments section, also located on this QR code, and it has everything you might need to know to secure financial readiness, from budgeting workshops and worksheets to insightful articles, and even a money personality quiz, which is very enlightening. So please feel free to check that out. Reach out if you have any questions. Again, we're going to make sure we put that TRICARE information as well as our information into the chat section. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining today. Have a great day.